All right, so let's dive into something pretty cool, a world you might not have thought much about before. The support systems behind the 711th Human Performance Wing.
Hmm.
It's a critical part of the U.S. Air Force, and you actually sent over some documents about an upcoming contract opportunity. And trust me, it's like a backstage pass to a high-tech world that impacts, well, everyone.
It really is. We're not just talking about keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
This contract covers a vast range of services from medical support, IT, to high-level advisory roles.
Yeah.
The sheer scope is impressive.
Yeah, and it gets even more interesting when you realize that this isn't just some theoretical concept Ruth Rutledge and Jessica Briggs. They actually presented on this at an industry day event back on February 19th.
Right.
So this is a real opportunity with real people behind it.
Exactly. And to understand the significance of this contract, I think we need to kind of grasp what the 711th Human Performance Wing actually does.
Yeah.
They are responsible for ensuring that airmen and guardians, those in the Air and Space Force, can operate at peak performance no matter the environment.
So that sounds like a pretty huge responsibility. What does that involve on a practical level?
Well, the wing is comprised of three key parts: the USF School of Aerospace Medicine, or USF-SAM, which is actually the oldest institution of its kind.
Wow.
The Human Effectiveness Directorate, which focuses on cutting-edge research, and then the wing staff, which provides overall support and coordination.
Okay.
USF-SAM, for instance, not only conducts research, but also houses the largest aeromedical library in the world.
The largest in the world.
In the world.
So they're like the ultimate knowledge bank for anything related to humans in flight and space.
You could say that. And then you have the Human Effectiveness Directorate, which focuses on really pushing the boundaries of human capabilities. They're involved in defining human limitations and vulnerabilities in air and space, developing innovative training methods, and conducting critical bioethics research.
Right.
Their work has a direct impact on the safety and effectiveness of those serving in the air and space forces.
It sounds like they're tackling some of the most challenging questions facing us as we continue to explore the unknown.
Yeah.
But how does this contract, the one you were mentioning earlier, fit into all of this?
That's where these support services come in. This contract will provide a wide array of essential services, everything from administrative assistants and medical lab technicians to engineers and positions requiring high-level security clearances. It's really a testament to the complexity and diversity of the 711's operations.
Secret and top secret clearances. That definitely adds a layer of intrigue to this. So if a company wants to be a part of this, what are we talking about specifically?
Well, there are two main types of task orders under this contract: full-time equivalent, or FTE, and performance-based. With FTE task orders, the focus is on providing a specific number of qualified personnel to fill designated roles within the wing. Essentially, you're staffing the 711th with experts.
So it's about more than just providing a service. It's about becoming an integrated part of their team.
It's exactly. Performance-based task orders, on the other hand, are geared towards achieving specific outcomes or completing defined projects. For example, a company might be tasked with conducting a study on the long-term effects of microgravity on bone density.
So with performance-based task orders, the focus is on delivering results, not just filling positions.
Precisely. Now, I know the mention of security clearances might sound kind of daunting, but the majority of roles actually only require a basic National Agency Check, or NSCI.
Okay.
So while some positions require higher levels of clearance, the opportunity is more accessible than you might think.
That's good to know. But let's be real, landing a government contract is usually pretty competitive.
Right.
What's the landscape like for this particular opportunity?
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is competitive. Companies will be going through a task order competition process where they submit proposals, undergo evaluations, and ultimately the best one is awarded the contract.
Okay, so it's not just about who has the lowest bid.
Not at all. They're using what's called a best value criteria, which is interesting because technical considerations actually hold more weight than past performance or even price.
Wow.
They are truly seeking the best possible solution.
So they're really prioritizing finding the right expertise for the job. What kind of specific skills and experience are we talking about here? What does a winning proposal actually look like?
Well, they provided some real-life examples in their presentation to illustrate the range of qualifications needed. For instance, an administrative assistant position might require experience supporting residency programs,
Okay.
while another might involve expertise in IRB projects, yet another might focus on aeromedical case management. Even for seemingly similar roles, the specific skills and experience required can vary significantly.
So even within a single job title, there's a lot of nuance and specialization. This really highlights the unique nature of the work they do at the 711.
Absolutely. And another thing that stood out to me was their emphasis on rapid staffing. We're talking about filling positions within 45 to 60 days of the RFP release.
Yeah. Wow, that's a tight turnaround. It seems like they need partners who are agile and efficient.
Exactly. But beyond the specific requirements laid out in the documents, the presentation also hints at some of the unspoken expectations the government has for potential contractors. They're looking for partners who are not only technically capable, but also possess strong recruiting, staffing, and management skills.
So it's not just about finding the right people, it's about managing them effectively once they're on board.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense, given the fast-paced and demanding nature of their work.
Right. And another key takeaway was their emphasis on minimizing turnover and ensuring a smooth ramp-up process for new hires. It suggests they're seeking a stable and reliable workforce.
It sounds like they're looking for a true partnership, not just a transactional relationship.
Yeah.
Someone who understands their mission and can help them achieve it.
Exactly. Now let's dive into the specifics of the acquisition itself.
Okay.
This is where you'll find the nuts and bolts of the contract.
Okay, let's talk details.
The NAICS code, which classifies the industry for this contract, is 541990. It falls under all other professional, scientific, and technical services.
Okay.
It's also set aside as an 8A contract, meaning it's specifically designated for small, disadvantaged businesses. And as we mentioned before, the source selection process will prioritize the highest technically rated offerer.
So they're really committed to finding the most qualified partner, regardless of size or previous experience.
Absolutely. They're planning to award multiple indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity contracts, or IDIQs, with a target of 5 awards.
Okay.
This indicates a desire to work with several companies, ensuring access to a diverse pool of expertise.
So it's not a winner-take-all scenario. There's potential for multiple companies to get involved.
Exactly. The ordering period for these contracts is 5 years with a performance period of 6 years. They're looking to establish long-term relationships, not just short-term projects.
So this is a significant commitment on their part.
It is. And to really underscore that commitment, the ceiling estimate for this entire opportunity is a staggering $505 million.
$505 million. That's a massive investment.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about the importance they place on human performance and their vision for the future.
It certainly does. And here's an interesting detail. Each awardee will actually be awarded a task order right at the basic contract level,
Oh, wow.
almost like a guaranteed starting project. All subsequent task orders will then be awarded based on competition among those selected contractors.
So it's a multi-layered opportunity. You have the initial competition to win a contract, and then you're continuously competing for additional work throughout the life of the contract.
That's right. It keeps everyone on their toes
Yeah.
and ensures they're always bringing their best to the table.
Yeah.
To give you a sense of the timeline, they're tentatively planning to issue the RFP in the third quarter of 2025, with awards expected around January 2026. Of course, these dates are subject to change, but it provides potential bidders with a framework for preparing their submissions.
That's incredibly valuable information for anyone considering this opportunity. Where can they go to find out more?
All the RFP documents and contact information can be found on sam.gov. That's the go-to resource for anyone looking to do business with the federal government.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the mission of the 711th Human Performance Wing, the scope of this particular contract opportunity, the competitive landscape, and even the potential financial rewards. But what really stands out to me is the emphasis on innovation and the pursuit of excellence. They're not just looking for someone to do a job. They're looking for partners who will push the boundaries and help them shape the future of human performance in air and space.
I agree. This is an opportunity to be a part of something truly groundbreaking. The 711th is at the forefront of a field that has far-reaching implications, not just for the military, but for all of humanity.
Exactly. And for anyone listening who might be considering this opportunity, I think the key takeaway is this. Don't be intimidated by the complexities of government contracting or the technical nature of the work. Do your research, understand the needs of the 711th, and showcase your unique capabilities. You might just find yourself playing a vital role in shaping the future of human potential.
Well said. And remember, this deep dive is far from over. We'll be back after a short break to explore the broader implications of this contract and what it might mean for the future of human performance.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We just went through a lot of information about this contract,
Yeah.
but it's more than just numbers and requirements. What I'm really curious about is what this tells us about where the field of human performance is headed, especially in air and space.
Yeah, it's a good question. The 711th is leading the charge in aerospace medicine. Human factors, engineering bioeffects, research, you name it. The fact that they're seeking such diverse support from medical professionals to engineers to IT specialists tells me they're preparing for some pretty ambitious endeavors.
Precisely. And the sheer scale of this contract, remember, we're talking about a potential $505 million, suggests a substantial investment in their future capabilities. This isn't just about keeping pace. It's about establishing a clear lead in a field with growing global importance.
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the details of the contract itself, but we need to remember the bigger picture. This is about advancing our understanding of human potential and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely. And while this work is critical for the air and space forces, it also has far-reaching implications for all of us. Take their aerospace medicine research, for example. It's not just about keeping pilots healthy. It's about understanding the long-term effects of space travel on the human body. That knowledge could be crucial for future missions to Mars or even beyond.
So the work they're doing to support today's airmen and guardians could pave the way for tomorrow's astronauts and space explorers. It's kind of incredible to think about the ripple effects of this research.
It really is. Yeah. And it's not just limited to space exploration. The research they do on human factors engineering, which focuses on designing systems that are intuitive and safe for humans to use, has applications in a multitude of fields. Think about improving the design of everyday objects from cars to medical devices to make them easier and safer for everyone.
That's fascinating. So the insights gained from designing a more efficient cockpit for a fighter jet could translate into a more user-friendly interface for a medical device, potentially saving lives in the process.
Exactly. And then there's the work they do on bioeffects, which explores the impact of things like radiation and microgravity on human health. This research has the potential to lead to breakthroughs in treating diseases here on Earth, as well as protecting astronauts from the unique challenges of space travel.
It's amazing how interconnected all of this is. We're talking about supporting the Air Force, but we're also talking about advancing medical science, improving the safety of everyday technology, and paving the way for future space exploration.
That's the beauty of scientific research. It often transcends its initial purpose and leads to unexpected discoveries with far-reaching benefits. And what's particularly exciting about this contract is that it gives companies and individuals a tangible way to be a part of this progress.
It's one thing to read about these advancements in a news article,
Right.
but it's another thing entirely to have the opportunity to directly contribute to them.
Absolutely. Now, for those listening who are actually considering bidding on this contract, it's crucial to understand not only the technical requirements, but also the larger context in which this work takes place.
You're right, we've talked about the potential rewards, but let's be realistic. This is a highly competitive process with high stakes. What are some key things potential bidders should keep in mind as they approach this opportunity?
First and foremost, they need to recognize that the 711th is seeking the best of the best. This isn't just about fulfilling a checklist of requirements. It's about demonstrating a deep understanding of their mission and a commitment to pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So showcasing your technical capabilities and expertise is crucial. They need to see that you have the skills and experience to deliver results.
Exactly. They need to see that you've not only grasped the technical aspects, but also that you've thought about the larger implications of this work and how it fits into the 711's overall goals.
And don't forget about the rapid staffing requirement. Companies need to be able to find and place qualified personnel quickly, often within a matter of weeks. This is not a project for those who are slow to mobilize.
Absolutely. And it's not just about filling positions. It's about managing those individuals, effectively minimizing turnover and ensuring a smooth transition into their roles.
It sounds like they're seeking partners who are agile, efficient, and able to seamlessly integrate with their existing teams. Given the scope of this contract and the level of expertise involved, finding the right people and managing them effectively will be paramount to success.
Right. And while we've covered a lot of ground today, it's important to remember that all the details are available on sam.gov. Potential bidders should take the time to thoroughly review the documentation, familiarize themselves with the specifics of the opportunity, and reach out to the contracting officers with any questions they may have.
That's an important reminder. This is a complex opportunity with a lot of moving parts, but the government has done a good job of providing a wealth of information for those who are serious about pursuing it. Don't let the complexity deter you. You take the time to delve into the details, and you might be surprised by what you discover.
I agree. Sometimes the most rewarding opportunities are the ones that require a little extra effort to understand, and in this case, the potential rewards go far beyond just financial gain. This is a chance to be a part of something truly meaningful, something that could have a lasting impact on humanity's future in air and space.
Well said. This deep dive has really opened my eyes to the incredible work being done at the 711th Human Performance Wing and the importance of supporting their mission. But before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your thoughts on something you touched on earlier, the emerging skill sets that will be most in demand in this field over the next 5 years. Given the rapid pace of technological advancement and the evolving needs of the Air and Space Forces, what kind of expertise do you think will be most valuable to the 711th?
That's a great question. And it's one that I think a lot of people in this field are grappling with. We're already seeing a surge in demand for skills related to artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics. As the 711th gathers more and more data on human performance, they're going to need people who can analyze and interpret that data to derive meaningful insights.
That makes sense. We're already seeing those fields transforming industries across the board, so it's only natural that they would play an increasingly important role in aerospace and human performance as well. What other areas do you see as being critical for the future of this work?
I wouldn't be surprised to see a growing demand for specialists in areas like bioinformatics, genomics, and personalized medicine as we learn more about the individual differences in how humans respond to extreme environments. We'll need to develop more tailored approaches to training, health monitoring, and performance optimization.
It's fascinating to think about how this research is moving from a one-size-fits-all approach to a more individualized and data-driven model. It's like tailoring a spacesuit to perfectly fit each astronaut's unique physiology and needs.
Exactly. And I think this shift towards personalization is going to have a profound impact, not just on aerospace, but on healthcare and many other fields as well.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities. We've talked about the science, the technology, the contracts, but
Yep.
ultimately this is all about human potential. It's about understanding our limits and finding ways to push past them, and I think this contract opportunity is a unique chance to be a part of that journey.
I couldn't agree more. This is a field that is ripe with opportunity for those who are passionate about pushing boundaries and shaping the future. And while there are certainly challenges involved, the potential rewards are immense.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive. But don't go anywhere just yet. In part 3, we'll be exploring the broader implications of this contract, delving into the geopolitical landscape and discussing what it all means for the future of human performance, not just in air and space, but for humanity as a whole. Stay with us. So we've talked about the science, the technology, even the business side of this contract. But there's another layer I think we haven't really touched on yet, a bigger picture that goes beyond just the 711th mission.
You're right. It's important to consider the geopolitical context as well. I mean,
Yeah.
we're living in a time of just rapid technological advancements, right? And the competition in aerospace is heating up globally. The
Yeah.
space race is back on. And with it comes a heightened need to understand and optimize human performance in these demanding environments.
So the work the 711th does isn't just about scientific progress, it has national security implications as well. The ability to operate effectively in air and space is becoming increasingly vital for maintaining a strategic advantage on the world stage.
Exactly. The research and development happening at the 711th is directly tied to our nation's ability to project power and ensure its security in the 21st century. And these contractors, by supporting the 711th, are indirectly contributing to that effort.
That adds a whole new level of significance to this contract. It's not just about fulfilling a set of requirements, it's about supporting the very foundation of our national security in a rapidly changing world.
It is, and I think that sense of purpose is something that will resonate with a lot of people. There's a certain appeal to being part of something larger than yourself, something that contributes to a greater good.
It's not just a job, it's a mission. And I have a feeling that's going to attract some incredibly talented individuals and companies to this opportunity, people who are driven not just by profit, but by a desire to make a real difference.
I agree. The individuals and organizations that thrive in this environment are often those who are motivated by the challenge itself, by the pursuit of excellence, and by the knowledge that their work has the potential to shape the future.
And speaking of shaping the future earlier, you mentioned the evolving skill sets that will be in high demand over the next 5 years. It seems like we're on the cusp of a major shift in how we approach human performance, not just in air and space, but in every aspect of life.
Absolutely. We're already seeing a surge in demand for expertise in areas like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data analytics. as the 711th and other organizations gather more and more data on human performance. They need individuals who can make sense of it all, extracting meaningful insights and applying them to real-world challenges.
It's like we're moving from a world of intuition and gut feeling to a world driven by data and evidence-based decision-making.
Exactly, and this shift is happening across all sectors, from healthcare and education to sports and business. The ability to collect, analyze, and interpret data is becoming a fundamental skill set for anyone who wants to be a leader in their field.
So for those listening who might be thinking about a career in human performance or related fields, developing these data-driven skills is essential. It's not just about understanding the science anymore. It's about being able to translate that science into actionable insights.
I couldn't agree more, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a growing demand for specialists in other emerging areas such as bioinformatics, genomics, and personalized medicine. As we learn more about individual differences in how humans respond to various stimuli and environments, we'll need to develop more tailored approaches to training, health monitoring, and performance optimization.
It's like we're moving from a one-size-fits-all model to a world of personalized solutions where we recognize and leverage each individual's unique strengths and weaknesses. It's an exciting time to be involved in this field, and I can only imagine the breakthroughs we'll see in the coming years.
It is an exciting time, and it's important to remember that this progress isn't happening in isolation. The work being done at the 711th and the support they receive from contractors has ripple effects that extend far beyond the military. It's pushing the boundaries of human potential for all of us.
That's a great point, and it brings us back to the core of what we've been discussing, the importance of supporting organizations like the 711th that are pushing the envelope and challenging us to think bigger about what's possible. This contract opportunity is just one small piece of a much larger puzzle, but it represents a tangible way for individuals and companies to get involved and contribute to something truly groundbreaking.
Absolutely. And whether you're a scientist, an engineer, a data analyst, or simply someone with a passion for human potential, there is a role to play in this evolving landscape. The opportunity is there for those who are willing to seize them.
Well said. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to encourage everyone listening to continue exploring, to stay curious, and to never stop pushing the boundaries of what they believe is possible. The future of human performance is being written right now, and each of us has the potential to contribute to that story.
And remember, the journey of exploration starts with a single step. Whether it's diving deeper into the details of this contract opportunity, pursuing a new skill set, or simply engaging in a conversation about these fascinating topics, every action we take can make a difference.
Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the world of the 711th Human Performance Wing, a glimpse into the future of human potential, and a call to action for all of us to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. We hope you found this exploration as fascinating and thought-provoking as we did. Until next time, keep those curious minds engaged and never stop exploring.